Boy, this is the guy I want to have on, certainly after what happened last night for the Best Picture announcement. Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight joining us. Where were you when that announcement was made, Kevin?
Dan, so this is from my sports days that I always leave the venue when the show is starting to watch it on TV. And that's what we all used to do, whether it be the NBA Finals, wherever, and before they started installing televisions in the arena. So we have a hotel next door, so you go next door to watch the Oscars, and you can sit in the hotel. You can watch the Oscars while everything goes down. And, look, let's just get to the nuts and bolts of this deal, okay? Here's what happened. Price Waterhouse and Coopers has duplicates of every single envelope. So there's two, right? Warren comes out from the other side, and he has a duplicate of the envelope for actress in a leading role. He walks out with it. It has been photographed. It's now been it's understood that that's what he had. He had the duplicate of the category before. He gets out there. He opens that envelope, and he's like, ruh-roh. There's a big problem going on.
Now, who gives him the envelope?
So Price, Waterhouse, and Coopers handles the envelopes. They hold the envelopes. Sometimes there is a stage manager in between them. We don't know who that person was who actually put it in his hand. But Price, Waterhouse, and Coopers holds the envelopes until it is time for you to go out. Then they will transfer the envelope, and it will get into the hands of the person who goes out on stage. Now, there are two things. No one looked at the envelope to see that it was clearly the wrong category. And then once they got out there and they realized there was a mistake, I think that Warren was trying to show Faye Dunaway to say, I think this is wrong. But Faye Dunaway just saw La La Land. But Warren saw the Emma Stone La La Land on there. And that's where the confusion happened. And you see the people from Price Waterhouse immediately come out on stage to try and correct it because they know it's wrong, because they know every single one of the winners and losers beforehand. And they're committed to memory.
The LA Times had a great picture of this is where everybody's looking up. It's a picture of all of the people in the audience, and you just see their mouths are open as if to say, oh, my God, what just happened? Is there any this wasn't part of any skit with Jimmy Kimmel, because that was it? Because that's Twitter started with that, and I said, boy, you can pull off a good hoax, but even Hollywood couldn't do this.
No. This was not a hoax. And if you have any question, go back to a shot, and we'll have it on the show tonight, where you see the faces of the people from the accounting firm, because they are freaking out. And here's the thing. They've been doing this for 80 years. There has been, and people are saying this has never happened before, there was a near mistake with Sammy Davis back in 1964, but he was doing a music category, and the folks realized he had the wrong envelope and rushed out and gave him the right envelope. But this time, it actually got announced, and the people walked out there. But you look at the people's faces.
Oh, my gosh.
And then Selma Hayek, who was backstage, she was right there, and she said she could hear over the headset of one of the stage managers people yelling, he's got the wrong envelope. He has the wrong envelope. It's the wrong envelope. It's the wrong envelope.
Anybody talk to Warren Beatty after?
Yeah, a lot. Warren talked to lots of folks, and he did say, he went out to parties, and you know what? He said, look, he wanted to hold on to that envelope and make it right, and that he was confused because it said Emma Stone, La La Land, and that it makes sense. And I think the real mistake is when he turned and showed it to Faye. Faye just saw La La Land and blurted it out, and I think he was turning to her to say, this might be wrong, and so it seemed like he was playing coy, and she was caught up in maybe the moment of him playing coy, and that's why she said La La Land. And from there, the nightmare began. And you could see it on his – watch Warren's face even when she says La La Land. He's like, oh, boy.
What was
We're deep doo-doo.
Did you go to La La Land or Moonlight after party? Did they have separate parties? Oh, okay.
No, because we talked to all those folks afterwards. Everybody from in the back in the press room to the governor's ball. We talked to everybody, and the folks from Moonlight were confused. The folks from La La Land were confused, and it was the one producer who stepped forward and he said he knew it was wrong, and he heard everybody walking around saying, "This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong." When the stage managers came out, that's when the people on stage realized what was wrong. And understand this. people had gotten up, ready to go. People were ready to leave. They were giving a standing ovation. This was the last award of the night. You have to get to the governor's ball, which is upstairs, and then after the governor's ball, then you go to the party. So it's a really long night, and it's late because even though it's earlier on the West Coast, by the time you go and shake hands in the governor's ball, do press in the building and all that stuff, and then you leave and go out to your parties. I mean, you're talking about a night where you're hitting parties at 11, and you're not going home till 2, 3 o'clock. And so people wanted to get out, and they always do. And so that's where, there was that anxiousness, and then everybody's like, well, are you kidding me?
He's Kevin
and
Frazier.
The La La Land people were blown away. They were just standing there like, what just happened?
He's Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight joining us. Was this a great moment or a horrible moment for the Academy Awards?
I think it was a horrible moment for Price, Coopers, and Waterhouse. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but anyway, it was a bad night for the accounting firm. It was still a moment that everyone is talking about as far as the Academy Awards go, and it was a great show otherwise. So I think the Academy Awards, listen, they go on, they'll be okay, and whoever's going to take that fall, whether it be a stage manager or the accounting firm, somebody's going to take that fall. But it was a great night for the Academy, and there were enough great moments that people will move forward.
This is what they need to do. They need to say to Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, we want you back next year to handle
100%.
Right?
Just like Steve Harvey came back and did the Miss Universe Award. If you remember, Steve Harvey made a big flub, but now his was because there were 2 names actually on the card. But he came right back the next year. They joked about it. They made fun of it. It was fun, and he got it right in the end. And that's what you have to do. And people will tune in just to see them come back. People will be waiting for that. I would have them back. I'd have Kimmel back. I'd do listen, it was a great night, and I would have all those folks back.
Who's still out partying?
Oh, wow. It all depends. I will say this. There's some folks from Moonlight who are still partying. Especially the younger guys from Moonlight who were on a hype already. And so they are still out partying. I want to believe that Emma Stone hasn't gone home yet. And here's the thing, Dan, that you got to understand. People who win, so say you win as a sound engineer, right? You take your Oscar and you walk around and you go to every single party with your Oscar because it gets you in any and every party. So there's the governor's ball, and then after that, the party that you have to go to because of your movie company. Then there are the late night parties that you really want to get into. And as long as you show up with that Oscar, you can get in. You can have a posse of 10. It can be bigger than an NBA posse, but you can get in because you have an Oscar. And then there's also the people who party, then they go out and have a little in and out, then they go and drink somewhere and hang out. So it can be a long night. Because here's the thing. Most folks, they don't have to be on set tomorrow, so they can go hard. They can go really hard. I mean, this is your one night. Go crazy.
I'll tell you who was one of the MVPs last night, Janelle Monáe.
Let me tell you how beautiful. Her dress looked big out and about, but in pictures and stuff. But, I mean, up close, she literally took your breath away. Her and Priyanka Chopra's dress.
Oh.
I mean, look, when I saw the two of them, I was with both of them. I was like, oh. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because, listen, and let's be honest. You react as a man when you're out there. Everybody's like, oh, the fashion. No, your first reaction is as a guy, and you look over and you're like, there is a crazy, beautiful woman in a dress that looks so hot. It is amazing. And we always have this fun thing we do on the red carpet. We're like the hottest non-star, the best-looking, best-dressed non-star. Whether it's, someone who is nominated in a lesser category or it's, someone's date or wife or son, who has the best dress? And that is fun early on to check that out too.
Always great talking to Kev. Get some sleep. And tonight with Nancy O'Dell and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30 Eastern on my TV set. But Kev, thanks for joining us.
Dan, thanks for having me.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, Kevin Frazier. Nobody breaks down the Academy Awards quite like he's the Mel Kiper of Academy Awards there.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.